So it is a big occasion, it is a big crowd, it is the first ever Manchester derby to be hosted at the Theatre of Dreams. Malar opens up a bit, Malar, oh now then, they're asking for handball, and they've got the penalty. So Katie Zeller does find the net again, putting United in front. Chloe Kelly gets away from Nelson, still Kelly, now Jill Roord. Great goal. Jill Roord levels things up. Zeller. Oh, had a pocket kick there. Khadija Shaw is in here. Good recovery by Zeller. Shaw though for Hemp. Brilliant. And Manchester City have turned it around. Here's Earps. Tissier has to hurry and hasn't put enough on that. And Shaw has scored. Manchester is blue.
It's time for Conti Cup action.
What lies ahead for a side that know how to win this competition, have the pedigree to win this competition?
We're not taking the game lightly on Wednesday night.
No better day to do it than a derby.
Welcome to the Joie Stadium for tonight's Conti Cup Manchester derby. Now, as it stands, United sit top of the table with 9 points from 3 games, while we are 1 place back with 7 from the same number of matches. Whoever wins tonight will definitely qualify for the knockout stages. If we need any inspiration, we don't need to look far, having already defeated our neighbours this season. Of course, that was back in November. What a wonderful Sunday late afternoon we had. It was a 3-0 victory at Old Trafford, thanks to goals from Jill Roord, Lauren Hemp, and, of course, Bunny Shaw. Welcome to our special Match Day Live. I'm so excited to be here inside the Joie Stadium. I'm Natalie Pike, and I am joined this evening by former City and England keeper Karen Bardsley. Good evening.
Evening, Nat. How are you?
I'm wonderful. We're having a lovely time up here, aren't we?
We are, yeah. The tunes are absolutely flowing. The DJ's feeling it. I'm feeling it. I can't wait for tonight's game. I mean, especially off the back of what we saw in November as well. The team are in great form, so yeah, I just can't wait for 7 o'clock to roll around.
I'm so excited as well because all about the bragging rights, of course, all about topping the table as well. But I just feel so confident, and I don't often going into any derby, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, it was a stellar performance, wasn't it, in November? I think, like, the goals, the overall performance, the way we pressed, everything was just so amazing, and especially to go to Old Trafford and just disappoint all those home fans. Like, it was just wicked. I remember driving home just going, yeah, like, we absolutely crushed them. It was such a good night.
And we really did crush them as well. I was inside the stadium and it was incredible. So hopefully there'll be another crushing this evening. Now, if we are going to do that, let's find out the team that are going to be taking on Manchester United this evening. So here's your City starting 11. So in goal, it is, of course, Keating. Then it's Alexandri, Greenwood, Coombs, Kelly, Hemp, Uwabi, Kasparai, Roord, Shaw, and Hasegawa. So that is the same team that beat Liverpool at the weekend. On the subs bench, it is Roebuck, Stokes, Horton, Fowler, Angeldal, Morgan, Mace and Park. So your same City starting 11 for the team that beat Liverpool at the weekend. Let's take a look now at the Manchester United starting 11 for this evening's game. I think this is 7 changes from the team that was beaten by Chelsea at the weekend. I'm quickly counting them up here. You'll notice quite a few big names not in the starting 11 for Manchester United. So it is Tulis Joyce in goal, Blundell, Garcia, Letitia, Zellum, Williams, Evans, Guerrero, Paris, Nalsund and Turner. And you can see the subs bench there on your screen as well. So that is both of the starting 11s for tonight's game. Now, we will chat about that Manchester United team in a moment. Of course, quite a lot of changes there. But of course, we're going to start with the City team. So the same team that beat Liverpool. Of course, good news there that Kirsten is fit. She's back. She's playing. So same team, which is great news.
Yeah, it was disappointing, a little bit scary, when Kirsten Kasperai went down in the first few minutes of that game against Liverpool. I was a bit concerned that she wasn't going to be able to continue, this week as well. But, Esme Morgan stepped in and did a great job. So, we know that we have that depth if necessary. But ultimately, for me, they're in such a good run of form. They were in a fantastic run of form before the break. And going into tonight, I think they're firing on all cylinders. So, more of the same for me. Really front foot and take the game to Manchester United.
We were so good on Sunday, that 5-1 victory over Liverpool. It was, Liverpool, of course, this season, they look like they're going to be the team that sort of challenges and tries to break into that sort of top 4, top 5. But they came and we just looked like it was a walk in the park, and I don't mean that disrespectfully.
No, it was a funny game, wasn't it? Because I think you're right. In terms of Liverpool's form this year, I think Matt Beard has done a pretty good job of really turning their form around from the previous seasons. We saw some upsets, didn't we, earlier on last season as well against Chelsea, and they've done the same sort of job against some of the top 4, top 5 teams. But yeah, I certainly expected a bit more competition and a competitive game from Liverpool. I think things didn't necessarily go their way. They looked like they were struggling to retain possession and build consistently. They didn't really threaten much going forward, and I think really we pressed really, really well, forced a lot of mistakes, and nullified any sort of threat going forward, bar the opportunity that they managed to put away from a miscommunication in the back between our back 4.
Yeah, that sort of, as you say, miscommunication from us. It was their only real opportunity of the game. Of course, for us, there was plenty of opportunities, and Bunny Shaw was very happy to take them. Rubbing her hands together, getting another hat-trick, top scorer in the WSL as it stands, of course, on 12 goals. She's just continuing to be phenomenal. And she loved that on Sunday.
Oh, I loved watching it, I'll be honest, especially that third goal, that little back heel to finish off the hat-trick just before she got subbed. I was like, I love seeing that. The other end down at Chelsea, playing Man United at the weekend, I think Lauren James is obviously knocking in a hat-trick as well. But, I've seen Bunny Shaw bouncing around the place off the back of training and things, and she looks so confident. To see the work that Sean Goder and the coaching staff have been putting in, it's really been paying off. She's just flying at the minute.
There was a wonderful picture I saw on social media of her and Sean Goter at the end of the match, and they did look like they were just the happiest people. That back heel, though, is that a sign, for the third goal, of somebody that is just playing in supreme confidence at the minute? Yeah,
I think there's an element of enjoyment and some freedom in there, but I think first and foremost, she looks really confident in her own abilities. The funny thing is, and we've seen this happen quite a lot, is players taking the initial opportunity on goal, having a block, and it's a bit of a scramble in the box, but it's that ingenuity and the creativity to just turn around and go, I'm going to have a goal, go here, and, it's pretty shambolic defending, I'm not going to lie, but it's always fun when something happens like that.
Always fun. There was lots of fun moments in that game. There's so many standout players from that game that we could pick out as well. Of course, Chloe Kelly on the score sheet as well. City actually have 4 players in the top 10 of the WSL goal scoring at the minute, which is incredible. Of course, Jill Roard up there as well, Lauren Hemp up there. Lauren's done well to recover. Well, I say she's done well to recover. She just made out that she was absolutely fine, didn't she, after that kind of acrobatic, I don't know what we'd call it.
I don't know, it was one of those weird things where, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it, because it's absolutely savage. I thought, that was going to be a really severe challenge, but she managed to come out of it unscathed despite skating on her head, for for what looked like an eternity. But she seems fine. She's in good spirits and clearly, in a good place to be able to start tonight. But both the wingers have been absolutely exquisite this season. Chloe Kelly's knocking in assists and goals for fun. Same for Hempo, and continuing to get that service through the midfield, through the back 4. It's just continual opportunities for City.
Yeah, we talk about the attack there. We've got an absolutely phenomenal attack. We haven't had a chance there to talk about Yu Hasegawa as well, who signed a new contract this week as well, which obviously absolutely fantastic news for the club, and we're thrilled that she's done that as well. So very shortly we will have a talk, especially about Kiara Keating, of course. We've got to, and we've got KB here. But before we do that, we managed to speak a little bit earlier. George Kelsey grabbed Gareth Taylor pitchside to hear his thoughts ahead of the game.
So Gareth, a massive game tonight, but a quick turnaround from Liverpool. How have the team recovered from that WSL win ahead of tonight?
Yeah, pretty good. Like you say, short turnaround, but the players have looked good in the last couple of days. Managed to get everyone out on pitch. Availability numbers are good. Only Alana is the only one who's unfortunately missing out, but she's close for the weekend. So outside of that, everyone's nursed a couple of little niggles here and there. But yeah, we're looking good and ready for tonight.
In a derby under the lights, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's it's obviously a different type of a League Cup game when it gets to this stage, and obviously got a little bit of work to do in order to win the game tonight.
How important is it as well to make sure that we play the game rather than the occasion, because there's going to be a lot of fans in here tonight and there's a lot riding on this game as well?
I think we can use that as a positive. I think the players will be right up for it. I think that's when you see us at our best, is when we really take things by the scruff of the neck, and I think with the extra crowd in here tonight and a bit more kind of on it, I think that's when we see us at our best.
I can imagine as well, this is a cup that has meant a lot to us and we've been very successful in the past, so to get that incentive of qualifying for the knockout stages potentially and getting the local bragging rights just be even bigger than what it was already.
Yeah, of course. I think it's, we want to get through. We know we have to. We've been drawn in a really difficult group, I think a 5-team group, and then also every team in that situation is WSL as well. So it's a tough group, and for us to have got through, we would have done really well. And we know what we have to do tonight, which is to win the game. There's no other thought in our mind.
We celebrate 10 years since the professional relaunch of the football club today. How privileged are you to have been a part of that, and also how excited are you by the next 10 years?
Yeah, I think it's amazing, and I think really privileged to be a part of it for sure. I can remember when it first started, even when Nick was taking charge of the team and working alongside him, worked with him previously. So yeah, it's fascinating to see how everyone in that space has moved on, and their careers have gone in different directions, and the players that we've seen have come and gone, and some are still on that journey a little bit with us as well. So it's amazing, and we're looking forward to the next 10 years of success as well.
Well, good luck tonight, Gareth. Final question from me is a bit of a weird one. Would you please sign this ball that we have for a citizens competition that's going on today? Lovely. Thanks, Gareth.
Thanks for that.
So that was our manager, Gareth Taylor, speaking a little bit earlier to George Kelsey. So Karen and I have run down to pitch side. DJ in here is fantastic, by the way, incredible DJ. We just want to tell you about a giveaway that we are doing. So you saw Gareth there signing this ball.
Wow.
If you would like to win this signed ball, signed by the whole team and Gareth Taylor, touched by the hands of Karen Bardsley, then you can do so. So if you are like that, there's my hand. If you're watching us on YouTube, you just need to go into the description and click the link. And if you're not watching on YouTube, get yourselves to mancity.com/feed, enter your details there on the Citizens portal. Very best of luck to you. I hope that you win that ball, signed by the whole team and signed by Gareth Taylor as well. Just a little bit of a reminder as well, to watch tonight's game you need to get yourself onto City Plus. If you're not already subscribed to that, it's incredible. You get the women's games, academy games, EDS games, incredible content, incredible documentaries. Get set up, subscribed on that now so that you can watch the full game. So we had a little bit of chat about the City starting 11 before we heard from Gareth. Let's have a chat now about the United starting 11, because instantly when we saw it, we started talking about why there is so many changes. So the permutations, we're trying to get our head around them. Whoever wins tonight is going to qualify. Whoever doesn't, there's a good chance that they might qualify through the second place, but they're not guaranteed. So given that, why do you think they've made so many changes?
Yeah, I think, listen, with United's performance this year so far, I think it's fair to say they've probably underperformed. So I think it's important to think about what's going obviously ahead around the corner in terms of this weekend's fixtures, but also they've just come off the back of a pretty disappointing defeat to Chelsea and not the best performance. So I think it's only fair really to rotate the squad to get some more minutes and a bit more cohesion in the team, a bit more experience, some of these players that haven't had a lot of minutes. So but ultimately it's about getting that form back in the league, and I think maybe this is a bit of a break. I wasn't expecting to see it, if I'm being honest. So like that many changes sometimes makes it really, really difficult to pull together a cohesive performance. So it's kind of thrown a bit of a spanner in the works for me.
It feels like a brave decision from Mark Skinner as well, given the fact that it's probably fair to say he's under a little bit of pressure at the minute. We heard some booing towards him in the Chelsea game. There was one Skinner outside, by the fans. They had such a good season last year. They finished second, they're 2 points behind Chelsea. They got to the final of the FA Cup. This year, they're really off the pace. 10 points off Chelsea, 7 points away from us in the WSL. And he's under a bit of pressure. So a derby defeat would maybe add to that pressure. So to rotate so much feels brave to me.
Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? Because I think he's been criticised in the past for not necessarily rotating his squad and getting players as many minutes as they needed, and they've relied on their core group of players, and especially off the back of this year, you've had some really competitive, you had a World Cup, some competitive fixtures. So, yeah, I'll be honest. Like I said, I was a bit surprised when I saw the starting 11. You'd think that maybe there'd be one or two changes. Fallistool and Joyce in goal makes sense because Mary Earps has had a lot of games. It's probably an opportunity to reset, but some areas maybe where I was looking to see some more changes was maybe the center back pairing. We see Hannah Blundell probably coming in on the left, or sorry, Gemma Evans on the left, and then maybe Hannah Blundell on the right. So what's that going to look like in terms of how teams are going to face up against that? What's City going to do tonight? There's a lot of questions out there.
Yeah, looking at that starting 11, obviously still some big name players in there for them. Obviously Maya Letitia, Katie Zellum, the captain, who of course scored in the derby at Old Trafford when we played them back in November. The captain, obviously she's still in the team as well. Nikita Paris in the team as well. So they've certainly got a lot of players in that starting 11 that know what a derby means, that have played in a derby, that will be wanting to perform tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I think Nikita Paris is a good one as well, because she's been in a good run of form, and I think maybe she would have been disappointed not to be in the starting 11 this past weekend at Chelsea. So I think she'll have a lot to be excited about tonight, in particular, coming up against her old team. But like I said, she's been a good run of form. She's always pesky in and around the area. She's aggressive, and she really likes to attack. She's front-footed in the press, which I think is definitely what Man United are going to be looking to do to the City back four.
In terms of on the bench as well for United, if they need to, they've got loads of talent on the bench there. Ella Toon, Mallard, obviously, I think she's their top goal scorer this season, although I think only on 4 or 5 goals as well. They've got, loads of players on the bench that they can come off, I guess, if they need something in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's not forget, though, they've got some good talented players on the pitch as well. Lucia Garcia has been fabulous in terms of, she may not have gotten the minutes that she wanted last season, but her additions have been pretty good, in terms of the way she's gone into the midfield and kind of contributed to the attack. I think there have been times where she's left, the fullback a bit vulnerable. But then you've got Irene Guerrero, who's probably not had a lot of minutes this year for United, but let's not forget, she's a World Cup winner. So it'll be interesting to see what she puts forth tonight. But yeah, I was looking forward to seeing JC play a bit more, because I think she was one of their more attacking creative threats, but they're still a good side.
It feels like it's perhaps taken her a little while to maybe adapt to the WSL or adapt to England, because her pedigree speaks for itself.
Yeah, I don't think this is the easiest league to kind of come into straight away, because the level is so high, particularly with the top 4, top 5 teams. So the weather moving away, there's so many things you have to take into consideration. But I think she's been really fun to watch. She can play either as that not necessarily like an out-and-out striker that's going to hold up play, but she'll drop in to help assist with the build-up, and she'll have the runs through the midfield, and she'll look to play those passes that are defense splitting. But she's wicked because she'll pull out into the channels as well and look to get in crosses. But there's just been a bit of a discrepancy in terms of the fluidity of the attack from United. So I'm wondering, is that going to get put right tonight? I personally hope not.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah. So yes, that is the Manchester United team. Now you can see we've walked down here. I'm saying it
there's
like that.
There's so much to talk about now. Sorry.
There's so much to talk about this evening for both teams. You can see behind us, on this side of me, the City team are warming up there. You can see them now. It wouldn't be right to have Karen here and to not have a chat about the absolutely fabulous Kiara Keating. What a season, what a story for such a young player to have claimed this number 1 jersey for herself. What have you made of her when you worked with her?
She's a great girl, she really is. A woman. When I was in the squad and she started training with us, I think I did some work on the goalkeeper pitches when she was still in the academy. And she's always been bubbly, full of personality, and it's really been great to see how she's transformed herself stepping into this first team environment. She's taken a lot more responsibility on. She's taken it more seriously, but she's still kind of kept that fun at heart, And I think you need that big character in a changing room. But I remember watching her against Chelsea. I think it was here actually, and she was phenomenal. I think she'll get a lot of. Before people knew who she was, you would think she'd get a lot of criticism for maybe her stature and not being able to handle balls into the area, but I remember she came through with flying colours and really dominated. And I think, you know, she's taken the opportunity, which doesn't necessarily come around that often, and she's flown with it.
Yeah, it was incredible. I feel like it was a player of the match performance in that Chelsea game.
Yeah.
I mean, she really laid a mark on it there as well. So we spoke earlier in the week to Kiara about the derby.
So Kiara, first of all, talk us through the win at Old Trafford. What did you remember from that day?
Obviously it's a big game, so the nerves before the game was just a bit, all over the place. But obviously when you walk into such an atmosphere, I feel like you just soak it in, and obviously we came out with the result that we wanted, the 3 points, and a win at Old Trafford. You can't really complain.
Talking about the atmosphere, have you played in front of anything like that in your young career so far?
Nah. I feel like I've always, when I warmed up with England and I'm at Wembley, the atmosphere's there, but it's different when you're actually in the tunnel, about to walk out to actually play the game. Yeah, it was special.
And how big was that win, do you think? Obviously we came from behind as well.
Yeah, I think it was huge. I think it just shows the character that we have in the team, and what we're trying to do this season is obviously win titles and win games, and I feel like that was a big game for us to win.
Talk us through the performance itself. How does that compare throughout the season so far? Would you say it's one of our best?
Yeah, I think obviously we had some very good performances this season, like Chelsea. I feel like as a team we just pulled together, and I feel like in special moments like that, especially going behind, knowing that we have to score goals, I feel like we've done so much better at that this season than we did last.
Going a goal down, what was sort of the feeling? What did you and the team feel like you had to do to get on top?
I feel like we was unlucky to go down. I feel like the game, we was dominant quite before the goal, but I feel like we just knew what we had to do. At the end of the day, we had one goal, which was to win the game, so we knew we had to score goals, and how we got there was on us, but we ended up doing it in the end.
As a Mancunian yourself, what did that mean to you, that win?
Oh, it was unreal. Like when the full-time whistle blew and we was all celebrating with our fans, I feel like we just won the World Cup.
Touching on the celebrations at the end with the fans there, how great was that?
Yeah, it was special. Obviously, we could hear him throughout the game, so that was special, especially as we were scoring. The United crowd kind of quieting down and we could hear our fans more, so it was a special moment to celebrate with the fans.
And they touched on it earlier about experiencing that perhaps for the first time in your career. Was that another sort of pinch me moment in your young career so far, obviously the season you've had as well?
Yeah, I think when I got to the change room I was like, oh my god, we've just beat United at Old Trafford. It was kind of that, and everyone's jumping around, so I feel like that was just like, oh my god, it's really happening.
And how can we use that win going into the Conti Cup match that we face against them?
I think, as again, we know we need the result, we need a win to obviously get to the next round. So I feel like, it's just a mentality thing, knowing that we have to put our all into it. And I mean, so it's a derby, so we're always going to be extra competitive, but just knowing that we have to come out with a result to get somewhere.
Knowing that we will need a result to get through, obviously at home against Manchester United this early in the season, what will having a game that big do for the rest of the campaign, do you think?
Yeah, I think obviously we start as we mean to go on. Obviously this knocking out big teams like United, Liverpool will really help us in the running, but obviously it's a big game that we have to play, and we have to deal with that game first before we start thinking about the rest of the games.
If we are to get a positive result, what will that do for our confidence?
Yeah, I think it's massive. Obviously wins are always confident, especially knowing that we've already won the Conti Cup before. I feel like, this is our year where we're going to win a lot of trophies.
As a goalkeeper, what would you say are United's biggest strength that we might need to be wary of?
I think on counter-attacks, they're quite dangerous with the quick forwards, so we just have to remain switched on.
Obviously we touched on the fans at Old Trafford, but how important will the fans be at the Joie Stadium?
Yeah, massive. I feel like on our home turf they have to feel our crowd, feel our energy, and our fans are amazing. I feel like just need to create as much noise and get behind us as they can.
How hard or important is it to sort of focus on just the game rather than the occasion? Obviously playing our rivals in a big game at home, how do you sort of stay concentrated?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. I feel like you have to soak in them moments and enjoy them, not just like, oh, we need to get the result, obviously take it all in, but at the end of the day, the final result, and we know at the final whistle we've got to have a win, so I feel like, that's all we need to focus on.
I just wanted to ask you a couple about teammates as well, obviously from the back. First of all, with Joie Stadium, what's she like as a teammate?
She's a magician. She's an absolute magician. On and off the pitch, she's the sweetest soul ever. But on the pitch, she's so intelligent. She's like 5 steps ahead of everyone else. So yeah. And
how important will your qualities and the qualities of the team be needed for a big game against Manchester United?
Yeah, I think obviously we all bring something different to the team. So I feel like, and collectively, I think we're unbeatable. So I feel we just have to be on our game all that day, and then yeah, we'll get the result we want.
Thank you for your time, Kiara.
Thank you. Bosh, you smashed it.
So that was the thoughts of Kiara Keating. And while you were watching Kiara's interview, we had the pleasure of a very smiley Kiara Keating came up and I would say you gave her a big hug and picked off the ground.
Yeah, she's little. No, in comparison to me. But, I mean, it's exactly what we spoke about, right? That big smile, that big personality. So she has fun with everything that she does, whether it's warming up or she's just loving life and embracing like the opportunity that she has. So it's so nice to see her. She's a great girl.
It's so lovely to see someone just thoroughly enjoying every moment of their life and their opportunity. So her smile is infectious.
It is.
Completely. So we're coming up to 7 p.m. kickoff tonight. To watch the game tonight, don't forget City Plus. You can get full match commentary on the City app with Karen and Mike Miney. So either listen to it there or you can watch it on City Plus. So we are about 15 minutes away from kickoff. How are the nerves now?
Yeah, I'm getting excited. I think like it's building. You know, I don't really feel nervous at all. I feel really confident. Like I said at the top of the show, the girls have been excellent in the build up to this game, and I think that's going to continue. You know, I think they're just going through their finishing now, getting ready, doing the physical dynamic stuff just before they go in. But they look like they're ready to go. I mean, I saw Bunny hit the post and nearly took Ellie Roebuck's head off just then. So yeah, I think they're all up for it.
We haven't had a chance to talk about Joie yet, which just doesn't seem fair because not only to talk generally about how phenomenal she is, but a new contract this week. She's going to be with us till 2027, which is phenomenal for us. I mean, she just seems to get better and better.
She does. She's a key component for the City side. I mean, obviously that role that she plays is massive throughout, you know, the academy into the first team, both men and women as well. All of the play goes to that holding midfield player. And the way she protects the ball, the way she reads the game, I felt like it was going to be difficult to replace, you know, Kira Walsh when she left. But to be able to find a gem like Joie Stadium has been so important for City. You know, like, she's so brave. She'll get on the ball. She's got loads of confidence. She links up play. She's constantly checking her shoulder. She knows how to progress the ball forward and support the play as well. You know, so she's steering from the back, which is exactly what this team needs. But you can see it, the fluidity that they move the ball up the pitch, like the opportunities that they're coming. That's coming from a solid job that the back four are doing, but also the way they support the play and the role that Joie plays in that is key.
I loved what she said in her interview as well, that she part of the reason why she's staying is because she likes the style of football that we play and she wants to win the Champions League. I was like,
I love that
yes,
ambition. Yeah, you stay.
Yes, please. Although we were hearing some cheering behind us there, the atmosphere seems really, really good here. In terms of key players that you're going to be looking out for on the City team tonight, who do you think's going to have the most fun this evening?
I just think it's going to be a really interesting matchup, you know, down the flanks. I think wide areas tonight are going to be huge. So, you know, how Lauren Hemp gets on, obviously how Chloe Kelly gets on as well, but the form that Khadijah Shaw has been in has been, you know, fantastic. I'd like to see a bit more from Jo Roord tonight, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think she really got into the game as much as she wanted to against Liverpool, but, you know, she's a phenomenal player. We saw that goal that she banged in against Durham in the FA Cup, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So more of that, please.
Yes, I think she's on, I feel like it's 6 to SL goals. I feel like she's third or fourth in the table already. I was looking at before.
Yeah.
What sort of impact do you feel like she's had on the team since she joined? Because obviously our only signing in the summer.
Yeah, no, she's been huge. She's an amazing technical player, but I think what really stands out to me is the tactical ability she has, the awareness of situations. Like, to the extent the detail, well, she'll try to line the body up of the defender and ensure that they can't almost close their legs in time, so she'll use the ball, like she'll try and get the ball through their legs basically to serve as a disguise for the goalkeeper. Like, that level of detail is what she thinks about.
We both suddenly went like that when we heard the sprinklers there. Thank you so much. Can I push you for a score prediction?
No.
That's fine. I'm not going to push you. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening. We still have the opportunity for you to win. Let's see how Karen's ball handling still is perfect, as always. This signed team ball has been signed by the whole squad, and it's also been signed by Gareth Taylor. If you're currently watching us on YouTube, go into the description, click on the link for a chance to win it. If you're not watching on YouTube, get to mancity.com/feed and enter your details through the Citizens portal. I need to let you go because you are running to go. Well, actually, it's just up there. You're all right. You've not got far to go for the co-commentary tonight. So Karen will be alongside Mike Maney. Get that on the app for full commentary, or to watch the game, it will be on City Plus. So we quickly mentioned Joie Stadium there. We could have done an hour on her. She is, of course, starting tonight. She has signed that ball as well, and she's been involved in some of the wonderful stuff that we've been doing around Chinese New Year. I am wearing the shirt here. It's absolutely gorgeous. The Year of the Dragon. So she sat down with City Studios to let us know how she'll be bringing in the Chinese New Year.
I wish all of you a happy Year of the Dragon. はい、餃子は本当に好きで日本でもよく食べますし、マンチェスターでも中華で餃子だったり水餃子を食べているのでとても好きです。やっぱり餃子は有名ですし、自分も好きなので餃子は欠かせないかなと思います。やっぱり日本の料理というか、やっぱり日本では新年にお寿司っていう感覚はないですけど、でもやっぱり外国の方には日本の本物のお寿司を食べてもらいたいなと思います。
So it's the game where the winner takes it all when it comes to group qualification. It might be advantage Manchester United. Manchester City know a win in 90 minutes will see them through as group winners. 10 years ago, on a special night at the Etihad Stadium, an unveiling of Manchester City women's new look side, a formalisation between the original ladies team and the club. Silverware has been a common theme throughout the last decade, but after a trophyless campaign last season, City will look to make further progress tonight in a competition that means a lot to them. The League Cup was the first trophy they won and have since gone on to win it on 3 occasions, most recently in 2022. Maths time then, get the notepads out. A win in 90 minutes for either side sees them through as group winners. Group winners across all 6 groups will reach the quarter-finals, and then the 2 best runners-up across those 6 groups will also make the last 8. Still with me at the moment, that belongs to Sunderland and Spurs, who have a better goal difference than Manchester City. However, if City draw tonight, both sides will get a point, and then there's a chance for a bonus point with a penalty shootout, which could all help. If City were to lose, then it's down to other results, which would need to go in City's favour. We'll worry about that if we have to, and hopefully we don't. Let's have a look at the 2 teams tonight then. Gareth Taylor is stuck with the same starting 11 for the 4th game in a row. Kiara Keating will continue in goal. Alexandri's in defence. Alex Greenwood, the one-time Manchester United player, captains the side. Coombs and Kelly will have to look to have a threat on goal. Lauren Hemp certainly did at Old Trafford earlier in the season with a goal in the 3-1 win. Leila Wahabi's back in defence, as is Kirsten Kasparai, who's passed the fitness test after just lasting 10 minutes in Sunday's win over Liverpool. Jill Roord, Bunny Shaw, a hat-trick scorer in Sunday's 5-1 win. And fresh from a new contract, Joie Stadium completes the lineup for Manchester City tonight. Manchester United have made 6 changes to their side that lost at Chelsea, put their WSL title hopes under serious pressure. They're still in search of a first major trophy. Only Letitia, Blundell, Zelen Garcia and Turner remain from Sunday's defeat. Goalkeeper Mary Earps is replaced by Fallon Tullish-Joyce as Mark Skinner sticks with the American shot stopper for a 4th League Cup game in a row. The back four sees one change as Gemma Evans comes in at left back. Hannah Blundell will move out onto the right. It's 3 in midfield as Irene Guerrero and Lisa Nalson join Katie Zelen. Rachel Williams will be partnered by Lucia Garcia and the former Manchester City forward Nikita Paris in the Reds' front line. Gareth Taylor called the win at Old Trafford earlier this season a statement. Chance to make perhaps another one tonight.
Kaylee, Adrian, Jessie Taylor, Faye, Billy, Orla, Megan, Jess, Millionaire, Annabelle and Megan. The teams will be out in a few moments' time. Time to ramp up the volume and get behind the Blues.
A reminder, for such a big game tonight, maybe no better time to sign up to City Plus. Well, you'll be able to watch this game tonight. Cheer on Manchester City, who need the win really. It will guarantee them a place in the quarterfinals of the League Cup, a competition that they last won back in 2022. One of the 4 times they have won the Women's Continental Cup. Never lost at home to Manchester United since the Reds were reformed themselves in 2018. Manchester City will undoubtedly want to continue that record tonight in front of a big crowd. Derbies always have that special draw. If you can stay awake for it, maybe. There it is. It's a cold night with the wind ripping around the Joie Stadium. That too was a factor on Sunday, and Gareth Taylor encouraged his side to keep the ball down on the deck as long as they could. I imagine there's a similar message in the dressing room tonight.
So here we go. Without Madison, we won't be able to start the match. Joie Stadium, are you ready to get behind the Blues tonight? 3, 2, 1, push the button!
The lights are ready. Pyrotechnics in the background as the 2 teams gather in the tunnel. We're almost ready to welcome them out at the Joie Stadium this evening.
Game changers, history makers. This is our city.
Gareth Taylor few years ago succeeded Nick Cushing to become Manchester City Women's second manager. Has won this competition as a boss and will want that trophy back. Players gather ahead of what will be a big night at the Joie Stadium. As the blue half of Manchester prepares once again to meet the red half. For the second time this season, there was plenty for Manchester City to smile about at Old Trafford back in November, that 3-1 win. So here they come, ahead of an important 90 minutes at the Joie Stadium. Manchester City against Manchester United in the Women's League Cup. Both sides have the pressure on them ahead of this one. They know a win in 90 minutes for either will secure a place in the quarter-finals of the League Cup. Anything else for either of them will leave their futures in this competition in the balance and maybe needing other results to go in their favour. So a decade of success at Manchester City Women. One of those first signings for the club back in 2014 was goalkeeper Karen Bardsley, and delighted to say she's alongside me tonight. I'm okay. How are you in from the cold?
I'm good, yeah. I'll be honest, like, I kind of wish we were outside because, like, the atmosphere is absolutely buzzing at the minute over there. It's going to be a really great game. I'm looking forward to it.
It is a special competition. Of course, you were part of that squad in